So is branding and marketing exclusively for big players, big companies? No. It's for every one of us. Everyone who starts with a dream, start building a business from day one. Branding and marketing is so important. Hi, I'm Ridjal and I'm a marketer. I run various companies. A little bit about my personal journey. So over the past 20 years, I've been deeply passionate about branding and marketing and have various experiments and adventures in it. The first company that I started was pullupstand.com, which I started 16 years ago. What is pullupstand.com? Basically, we specialize in display solutions and marketing collaterals for events and exhibitions. So it's a B2B, business to business company. And on top of that, we also have WGL, which stands for We Groom Leaders. So WGL conducts trainings and we also publish books. We've published 11 books in the past 9 years. And I'm also involved with a family business, Saffrons. So for Saffrons, it's B2C, business to consumer. And we have different marketing strategies and different branding strategies for each company. Yeah. What has greatly influenced my understanding of branding and marketing? Hero stories like Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos, guys who have driven their companies from small startups to huge companies today. So I've always been interested in this right out of school. I've read up a lot about how they did it. And when we undertake, we are small business owners, when we start with something right out of scratch, right? How do we actually grow that brand that people will come to connect with it, resonate with it, and also support us, become raving fans? So reading about it is one thing, and then when you apply and you actually do it for yourself and you see the results, it's very satisfying, and I greatly love it. So that's why, even today, I've been a business owner for 16 years. I'm still looking forward to more adventures in marketing and branding. So what really is branding and marketing, right? We always hear about it. Branding is what your customers come to understand and know about you. And marketing is what we push our products and services to them, right? And how we communicate with them. When we are starting out, we think everyone is our customer. That's one mistake we make. We think everyone is our customer. But actually, every business has a certain demographic that we need to buy from us, and we need them to pay attention to us. So by having the right brand, they will take they will pay attention to us. And then marketing, yes, we have to throw out that wide net so that we can get them to connect and engage us. I always believe that when it comes to branding, it's very important to position ourselves. So look at the industry that we are in and position ourselves so that when customers think of us, not just customers, but anybody who comes in contact with us, remembers us. So the ability for our friends, our acquaintance, our leads to actually walk away but still remember us and be able to refer business to us. So positioning is something that I've held on to and applied to each of my businesses. So that in that vertical, if people are looking for our services, our products, right, they remember us. I think when it comes to positioning, the simple question to ask is, in that industry that you're playing in, when people talk about the top 5 choices, does your company come into the top 5 slots in their mind? Because when you talk about positioning, we always say positioning is the battle for your customer's mind, right? It doesn't matter what you put out there, the brand that you have, the signboard, the logo that you've designed, the website that you designed, but the customer walks around, every person that walks around, what do they store in their head, and whether you are in the first 5 slots for it. So that's the battle that we are all out for to win. That's the battlefield. So when they go around and there's a conversation out there, talking about biryani, for example, talking about biryani, hey, where should I get biryani? So when that conversation happens, did we successfully lodge ourselves into their mind? Are we one of the answers that come out effortlessly? So when a conversation happens between three people and somebody will say Saffrons, if they do that, then we've won. So that's what positioning is. But if we are not even present in their minds, then we've got a lot of work to do still for us to actually lodge ourselves in their heads. I think for me, a good litmus test is, conversations happen and we get tagged, we get mentioned, people refer to us. So I see that happening a lot. We started this hashtag Gold Class Biryani. So it caught on. We stopped talking about it and people are talking about it, right? So I would say that's how you get to see that it's happening out there. Do I have a formula? Okay, so for Saffrons, it's a business that's been around for 28 years. For most of those years, we didn't have branding strategy. We had different names actually for many of our outlets. And then finally we saw that, hey, it's better to have the same name for all 5 outlets. And we had a catering company that was called a different name. So let's reel everything in under one name. Let's create an identity for it, so that customers can actually get behind us, support us, identify with it, and keep buying from us. I know I always keep saying keep buying because every business eventually, and most importantly, we want buy-in from our customers, our supporters. And so for Saffrons, when we did that, we looked at who the competitors are and who we want to be ranked alongside. I mean, who are the leaders in the industry, and that we are seen on the same level with them. So that really raised our visibility and also our presence, and we started getting mad results. Our business grew very fast within a few years. We tripled our revenue. So branding, a lot of people don't pay enough attention to it, or because it's a long-term game. You don't start seeing results within days or weeks, but in the long term, you are going to win, and that will help you to also overcome the ups and downs of the economy and all that. Does branding come before marketing or on par? I think you can build both together. Like for Club Stand, we started marketing first. We were not clear on the brand, right? We launched very fast. I just came up with a simple logo and just put up the website, and it was a very simple website. So I mean, we went with marketing first because we wanted to get leads and customers, and as we proceeded down the weeks, we kept refining. So I think it's one foot after the other, and keep refining as we go. Content creation is so important in today's world, and I think it's taken an exponential growth in the past 2-3 years. Right now, everybody's talking about TikTok, so which equates to videos, which is creating content and being seen and heard. So this presents different challenges for introverts and extroverts. Extroverts love to get up there and share and talk, but introverts are like, they have 1,001 questions before they can gear up to start talking before a camera. But it's indispensable. You have to do it. And I think if you are still hesitating today, in the next 1 year, I think everybody's going to be doing it. So you just have to get a head start while you still can. Is it too late to start? Yes, it is a bit late, But it's better late than never. I mean, I myself, I hated the idea of having to be the talking head in TikTok or YouTube or videos. And I've been wrestling with this for the past 3 to 6 months. But it's something you just have to embrace. So if you have reservations, you're an introvert, you just have to find some coping mechanism and you still have to go forward with it. Yeah. Especially for small businesses, right? You have to represent your own business and you have to let people know about your business. So you have to create content, you have to make videos. In my experience, there's definitely differences between the way that introverts and extroverts approach marketing and branding. Speaking as an introvert myself, I think we think and ponder deeply over many things. So this internal conversation that happens creates different results for introverts versus extroverts. I have friends who are introverts and extroverts, and I see the way they conduct their business or grow their business. So extroverts are high energy. They go out, they just talk, they present themselves. But introverts have a greater challenge communicating most of the time, but they think deeply on things. So I think this shows in the work that they do when it comes to branding, marketing. They are more analytical, and also they tend to come up with more out-of-the-box ideas. And marketing, as you know, is both art and science, right? So ability to be creative, but at the same time to review the results and tweak and refine. Yeah, so these are more suited for introverts, I believe, because of their internal life that they have. And yeah, I've seen many introvert friends who push harder on marketing and branding. But when it comes to sales, I think that's a arena more suited for extroverts. Yeah, networking is important. I've always said that I suck at networking. So for the first 14 years, I didn't do much networking. Only 2 years ago, I joined a networking organization, a very popular one. And I was there for 2 years. I started to see the power of networking, and I think it's important. When you're growing your business, I think there are different stages in a business, right? When you're just starting out, you need customers and all that. But at a different level in business, networking helps to open doors and gain access to opportunities that you might not have otherwise. So we start to see a different way why we need to network, right? So when the purpose is clear, then you understand why you need to do it, and you can't run away from it. Yeah. Misconceptions of networking is that you're going to end up meeting a lot of people who want to sell to you, right? So that's something we hate now. I mean, if I come to your event and then we meet people and then everybody's trying to sell something to you. So once we understand that networking is not just about selling, it's not a transactional relationship, but rather you genuinely want to meet people and learn something and widen your horizon about business and what other opportunities there are out there. And you are authentic. You actually sincerely, genuinely want to make friends. Yeah. So if that's your objective, you make friends in business, right? Make friends in business. I think people start to remember and like you, as opposed to you are out there to sell. You're out there to actually hunt for customers, which is repulsive. That's the word I'm looking for, which is repulsive. So people will be repelled. They don't actually want to have anything to do with you. But if you don't have this kind of agenda, you are generally there to make connections and build rapport. I think it will actually pay off quite handsomely. Okay, so considering the rise of personal branding, I think some important skills to learn is how to communicate, how to effectively and persuasively speak to people, how to be likable, how to be bankable, in fact, because all that affects your reputation and your brand, right? So when people talk about you, when you're not in the room, that's your brand. Do they like you? Do they trust you? All that determine whether you get referrals, leads, and sales for your business. I've struggled with this actually, personal branding. I've asked myself whether do you go down that track or do you go down the other track. So you see companies like Apple, Samsung, Google, and so many others, right? So some of them are founder fronting. So the founder is at the front. He's very visible. You have guys like Steve Jobs, Jack Ma, who is you can't separate them from the company, right? They represent and with that they are representative of the values of the company. So everything they do, good or bad, reflects upon the company. Then you have guys like Tony Fernandez and all that, so closely associated with AirAsia. You can't tear the two apart, right? But then you have companies who you like and you buy from, but you don't really know who are the founders. So I tend to favor the second one, which doesn't have to rely on the personal branding of the founder. Why? Maybe because I'm an introvert. So I like to be able to go out and have coffee and not be recognized by people. I favor that one, that part of it. Versus being identified wherever you go. You know, I don't want to be popular like Jit Puru. So yeah, I've had such debates or arguments with friends who say no, personal branding is the way to go. I say, does it really have to be that way? Maybe we build the trust, the connection just with the brand, the company itself, and the customers. Yeah, so they tune into the values of the brand and the company, but they don't need to know who are the founders. You know, like Coffee Bean, I don't know who runs Coffee Bean, right? But I will go and buy. Why? For certain reasons. Yeah, so when we look at all these big brands and how they carry themselves, we also have to ask ourselves, the small business owner, how do we want to actually build, right? For the next 5 years, 10 years, yeah. If you start today and you say personal brand, are you prepared to carry that for the next 10, 20 years? Or maybe knowing yourself, it's about congruence and authenticity, right? Knowing yourself and you say, no, I want to build a business on its own. It stands on its own strength. It doesn't need to be about me. As a business owner, what do I need to reflect on when I'm starting out? And what kind of branding strategies do I use for my business? We have to pan out to what customers expect, and at the same time, look across the industry and see how other big brands represent themselves in that industry. We also want to look as if, especially when you're small and you're just starting out, right? You want to look as if you belong. You don't want to look like, yeah, I'm just a new kid, just came onto the block. You want to look as if you belong and you've been there for years. That's the way we introduced pull-up stand into the industry. So straight off from the first month, we look as if we belong. And we started getting big clients from Singapore and beyond Singapore as well. So to show that we belonged, our website looks good compared to our peers. You know, it looks like it's been around for quite a while. At the same time, we are visible and present on search platforms, easily found on the first page. So these are marketing techniques we use to get onto the first page fast. I employed the same strategies when we set up in KL in 2018. Right from the first month, we started looking like we've been around for quite a while, so that we started getting clients like Petronas and Sunway, which is the right demographic we are looking for. Because why do you want to look like you belong? So that new customers that approach you can trust you. If not, they will be asking the question, you're so new, how can I trust you, right? Yeah. So trust is at the center of everything that we are building. Customers need to be able to trust us, then they buy from us and work with us. As a new business owner, how much should you be spending on branding and marketing? We are talking about time, money, right? As much as you can. As you are building the company, you are building it in terms of views, visibility, that people know you and hear about you and keep seeing you. Yeah. So as much time as you can actually, because at the beginning of every business, from my experience, we live, breathe, sleep the brand that we are trying to build. Yeah. So we push very hard on it at the beginning. Yeah. Then as you go along, you start to reap the rewards, but you keep feeding that fire. Yeah. So it's a work that never stops. As much as possible is the answer. So I think as a new business owner, when you are considering how much to put into branding and marketing, I think the first question to ask is, how interested are you in this work? Because for myself, I'm very much interested in being part of it. I don't see it as I'm going to outsource most of it to somebody else to do the thinking for me. So I love to experiment and see the results and review and then, attack it again. So I did most of it myself, DIY. But there are different kind of business owners, right? Let's say you're an accountant and you hate branding. I mean, not hate, but you don't know much about it, you don't know how to go about it. Then I would say, yes, engage a agency who knows what they're doing, right? And always think about who is the customer you're trying to reach out to, keep them in mind, then build towards that. Work with the pros, don't do it yourself. But if you are a business owner like me who really loves branding, marketing, loves to read up about it, and then try things, simple things like shooting videos on TikTok, right? You're gonna be quite bad at it at the beginning, but then you keep picking up, reading up, watching YouTube videos, how to get better at it, then you are going to get somewhere. So if you are interested in the process, then invest in it and build as you go along. Yeah, but if you can't be bothered, then go and get a good agency. Yeah. So a few books that I would recommend to business owners when it comes to branding, marketing. There's a small thin volume called Positioning. It's written by L. Rice. Yeah, this is like the number one book on positioning. It's very easy to understand, very easy to digest. So I suggest you pick it up and read this book. I'm also a fan of Seth Godin, right? He writes books like The Purple Cow and All Marketers Are Liars. Interesting books. He's a thought leader in marketing. So all his content is very short, because he writes a blog every day. He puts something out, so you can just follow his blog and still tune into what he's saying. I've learned a lot from him also about how to be different and how to stand out in a crowd. And there's also another book called They Ask You Answer. So this helped me shape my approach to content creation. Listen to your customers and the questions that they're asking, and then carve out answers to this, and it helps you in SEO as well. Yeah. So yeah, these are a few books that I've turned to. So thank you all for joining me today and wishing you all the best.